The world food crisis can be exemplified by the sharply rising food prices. Africa spends more than $50 billion annually on food imports, and this spending continues to rise. So bad for a continent that already has a bag full of other problems and challenges. Unfortunately, this expenditure is on imports, which the continent can produce not only for feeding herself, but also remain with surplus for export. As the scenario unfolds, the victims bearing the brunt are the rural and urban poor, especially women and children. The youth are also affected by lack of jobs, something that could lead to political and social instability. Ironically, the agricultural sector is a mainstay of most economies in sub-Saharan Africa, contributing on average about 33% of Africa's gross domestic product (GDP). This signifies the importance of agriculture in ensuring economic, social, cultural and political stability of these economies. The agricultural potential in which the solution lies is unfortunately not fully exploited.
One of the things we are having a very big issue with is food security. Bringing technology and culture together and making products that are convenient for the kind of users that we have now.
African countries are in the process of a major change, transforming their countryside and millions of smallholder farmers and improving skills and technologies as a way of boosting agriculture and wealth creation through agribusiness. This revolution has been called the African Green Revolution. Several initiatives and actors are at the heart of this transformation. Among them is a recently established Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium, SVCDC.
The SVCDC is the short for Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium. It was formed in 2012, and there was a call for proposals by Danida through FARA, that is Forum for Agricultural Research in Africa, and they wanted to set up incubators in 6 countries in Africa. And each country was given a given crop to address, and Kenya was given sorghum. The essence of SVCDC is to promote sorghum value chain as a crop. Another one was as a result of a research that was undertaken by Jomo Kenyatta before, and it found that there were poor marketing strategies for sorghum. And also the stakeholders in sorghum value chain were not very keen on sorghum. So through Jomo Kenyatta, they had to come up with an institution that will come and promote sorghum as a crop in this country.
It started when there was the call for concept notes by UniBrain, and that was in November 2010. So the FARA through UniBrain put up a call, and they were calling up concept notes for agribusiness incubator consortium to submit their concept notes. So we responded to that. This was a team from Jomo Kenyatta University. So we sat together and now we deliberated on what are some of the value chains that we can easily target or we can easily use. We settled on sorghum simply because we find that sorghum is also is the only cereal really that is indigenous to Africa.
Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium is an initiative of the Forum of Agricultural Research in Africa, FARA, and the Government of Denmark. The initiative was established with 3 main goals, namely, to support the establishment of the agribusiness incubators championed by universities, businesses, and agricultural research institutions, to commercialize agricultural technologies, and to produce graduates with entrepreneurial and business skills.
A university like this one should arm our graduates with the 2 alternatives. When you graduate, you either go into self-employment or go into wage employment. If you miss one, go in the other. How do we prepare them? The fashionable thing now is what we call business incubation.
We realized instead of always relying on students who look for jobs. We needed students who can create jobs. So students who can start businesses within the area of agribusiness or within the value chain of agriculture, so that we create more students who are self-dependent, students who have practical skills, students who have hands-on, who can get there and then look for jobs, creating more jobs for the economy of the country.
Since its establishment as a public-private partnership, SVCDC has quickly spread out within Kenya to realize its vision of being a global leader in agribusiness generation and a sustainable source of support for young African agripreneurs.
I think one of my vision is to ensure that we have incubation centers in all the 47 countries of this country, because we want to continue creating employment and income for the youth and the women. So we want to create these social enterprises in all the 47 countries so that they can continue creating employment for the youth and the women, and at the same time also creating income.
My vision for this, the Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium, is that after 10 years, we will have visible, successful enterprises that we have supported, especially on sorghum.
In Kenya, the project is being piloted in Eastern, Western, Nyanza, Central JKUAT. For example, in Kibwezi, Eastern Kenya, farmers have just harvested their first sorghum crop, which has testified here the sorghum crop is already changing lives of many families who for centuries depended on unreliable rainfall. There are more opportunities from land, which hitherto, for instance, did not produce enough even for domestic consumption and income.
Kwanza nilikuwa na shida ya school fees, na nikianza kulima hiyo mambo yangu nimetengeneza kabisa. Nilikuwa sina hiyo ngari ya kupepea na ng'ombe, nikanunua. Silikuwa na mambo na kisima, nikapea watu wakanisimbia kisima nina yangu. Hiyo kutoka kwa hiyo mawele au kilimo hii akari. Kwa hivyo hiyo kilimo iko faida sana kuliko hii ya zamani.
Kisini sold sorghum worth Kenya shillings 400 last year alone from his 5-acre farm. This year, since rains and seeds came in late, he expects at least between 200 and 300 shillings.
Mawele yenyewe kukiwa kuna mvua inasaa sana. Kukiwa hakuna mvua inajaribu.
Ahero Scheme Multipurpose Cooperative Society in Nyanza has opted for sorghum farming as an alternative crop to rice because apart from having promising returns, the crop will satisfy one critical need, food security. Rice has also been experiencing low prices occasioned by cheap imports. With over 2,168 acres and 1,650 farmers, the scheme is said to be one of the biggest bread baskets and catalyst for community empowerment for Nyanza region.
All those people who are in Kisumu County, let them engage in farming as business. Not just farming, but farming as business. Let them accept that in Kisumu County we have more potential than any other county in Kenya. And if we can utilize this opportunity of actually taking this opportunity as early as now, then the future of our farmers will be one of the best in the country.
The county government of Kisumu is giving full support for the cooperative and especially sorghum value chain because of the suitability of the crop to the needs of the region.
We are contracting farmers to grow the sorghum. They'll get their inputs, we'll do land preparation for them, and then when they deliver their produce, then we shall have a check-off for the kind of inputs that they will have been given. And in all our sub-counties, we have gone out to promote sorghum, and now farmers, some have already prepared their land, some are still preparing, and we hope that with the partnership we have with Kenya breweries, and the USAID program that is here with us, we are going to promote sorghum growing for food security and also as a cash crop this time around.
A sample of farmers prove just how ready they are and very enthusiastically waiting for the sorghum growing to kick. They believe this is a solution to poverty reduction and perennial food shortage.
If this sorghum project is introduced, they are now feeling much better that they are going to overcome some of the challenges which they could not meet when they are growing rice alone. They are going to take their children to school, to pay for them the school fees, and even to build a good house which they can live in.
Technology has brought a lot of potentiality into that particular area of farming, sorghum farming, that unlike the past when they could only use the head and the seeds, right now they are going to use everything, every stalk, every kind of the plantation, every kind of the plantation of that particular crop. Yeah. And they are not only going to use it to get money, but also to put food on the table and even to feed our animals.
Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium has established key institutions and functions as a vehicle to realizing our objectives. The institutions and projects include the Agribusiness Innovation Incubation Consortium, AIIC, Business and Research in Agricultural Innovation, UniBrain, and the Forum of Agricultural Research in Africa, FARA. Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium is running several programs and activities to achieve its vision of becoming a global leader in agribusiness generation and a sustainable source of support for young African agripreneurs. The programs and activities are divided into specific ventures. These are seed ventures, food ventures, feed ventures, and biofuel ventures.
This is one crop that if we can tap its potential, it will be able to produce a number of products, and these products can easily be businesses that can be taken up by our graduates or our incubatees.
We are taking interns who are doing agribusiness in the universities and attaching them to the incubatees we are incubating. They learn the real doing of business so that even after their attachment, maybe they'll get motivated to start their own business.
The specific objectives which are driving the Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium SVCDC agenda include creating strong linkages between universities, research institutions and businesses, and finding, encouraging, supporting and scaling up startups and SME businesses that create jobs and generate wealth. Other specific objectives are producing agribusiness graduates with hands-on experience, better communication skills, systems and team skills, being a successful sorghum-based agribusiness incubator, taking on other crops that require the same skill sets and facilities, and being an efficient, cost-effective, one-stop advisory and service center for commercial farms seeking short-term services and specialized facilities with assurance of the Sorghum 4F brand.
Our main target is to target the graduate startups. People are already graduating, they have no money, they don't have any idea about business plan development. So even them, we can also help them to come up with a business plan. How do you market your product? How do you produce? And how do you manage a business? So in other words, with them, even after some time, they'll be able to make money out of whatever they're producing.
Across Kenya, farmers will benefit from acquiring increased knowledge on value addition of their sorghum crop, and this will eventually cover other crops and, in so doing, more agribusiness, leading to improved incomes and food security.
This one is a project that we can never miss. It is a project that we need like yesterday. And the youth are ready. They open their arms to receive it as soon as it comes.
The above efforts by Sorghum Value Chain Development Consortium, or SVCDC, and partners have however met with some challenges, which, if not addressed adequately and in timeliness, would reverse the good intentions and progress of the program.
For us really to be able to develop the value chain, of course we need policy support, government policy support. because we find that unless there is really an enabling policy to support the value chain, it will become very difficult to move on. And you find that one of the main challenges that we may need is that we'll need policies in place, for instance, that will be able to kind of minimize or eliminate completely the importation of sorghum. If we had a policy whereby this importation business is kind of minimized, it will now create a condition whereby we need now to support farmers to produce enough quantities that the industry need.